Hi, welcome to the Felt Hub. Today I'm going to show you, well, we're doing the 20-minute gnome challenge is what we're doing. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make these gorgeous little fellas in just 20 minutes. And you can just use scraps of wool. That weighs 5 grams, that weighs 10 grams total. You just need a coarse felting needle and a fine felting needle, but you can just use a coarse one for the entire project. They are super easy to make. This is a 45-minute penguin. That is a 30-minute sheep. There are video tutorials for those. I'll pop links in the description. And don't be nervous, just crack on, grab all your stuff and just do it with me. And if it doesn't take 20 minutes, it doesn't matter. But it's just such a wonderful project. And these look fantastic hung from the tree as garlands. You can attach them to your gifts as special gift tags. You can put them on the Christmas table as place settings, or sell them at craft fairs as just, you know, little things that you can sell for you know, a decent price that people are going to pick up. So thanks so much. We'll get into the Felt Hub, we'll get making, but make sure if you have any questions, you ask in the comments. I will get back to you, I promise. And if you could just like and follow the channel and just show your support, that means the world, and it just means I can keep putting out content for you to enjoy. So let's get in there. Okay, let's see what you've got then. Grab your needles, grab your wool, felt along with me. Let's do this together. So I have, this is going to be my hat, carded wool. It's going to be the body, carded wool. Some sort of light skin tone colour for the nose, and then a little bit of white for the beard. And I have my barbecue skewer here to do the nose, but you don't need one of those. You can just tie a knot in it. So let's get going. First, the body. Really, really simple, basic barrel shape. You don't need much. As I said, that entire thing weighs 10 grams and that actually weighs 5. So all I'm doing is rolling up into the barrel, and as I'm doing that, I'm pulling those sides in, and the trick here is get that air out. I'm not even felting anything yet, I'm just pushing in, getting it really nice and firm, and then I'm taking a coarse needle. This is I think this is a 38. And I'm just poking through. And remember, use your finger guards, especially if you're new, because you are working small, so you will prick your fingers a little bit easier than you would usually. Just turn that round and then just tuck in the other side. And you see how firm that is. So what that's doing is it's reducing the time that we will spend needle felting. And what you want to do is just keep maintaining that shape. Remember, it's only going to be teeny tiny. So let's just keep that in. Keep folding those edges in. I hope the camera's not bouncing around. The table feels like it is. But it's a new table. It's one of those that goes up and down because I'm wanting to do some standing tutorials. So I've treated myself to a new table in the sale, and it's got like an electric motor on it, and it can lift the table to standing height. So it's really, really good. I'm really pleased with it, and I like the colour as well. The colour works well for when you're crafting. And then as you can see here, that's going to be probably that's going to be the head part where we're going to pop the hat on. And then what I do is I make the body first, because then when we're doing the hats, we can check to see that it's actually going to fit around the head and make any necessary adjustments. And you're just keeping this needle nice and straight. I'm now just working in diagonal angles. I'm going to go to the base because this is really important that you get this flat. We'll come back to it later, but you can actually squish it with your fingers as well. Got a little bit of loose wool there, so we need to get that tucked in. So let's just work that down. But most of this will be covered up. And there we have our little body ready. Just a little bit of loose wool there. So I'm just going into the top layer now, as you can see, just poking it in. And this, I believe, is a 38 star needle. So remember, the higher the gauge, the finer the needle. That's a 40, so that's got more bend on it than the 38. And you would use a coarser needle to start your projects and a finer needle to finish them. And that's all you need when you first start. Okay, body done. So onto the hat. So I've done this one here. I'll probably do it similar to that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out some of this. Now this is like a, this is from World of Wool. It's gorgeous. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a carded wool, and it's a blend of wool. It's really, really lovely. Now, how am I going to do this? So I think just lay it down. We've just got one layer there. You could split it into two, but I want this hat to be nice and thick. So I'm going to draw a short, wide triangle with my needle, but I'm not going to go to the edge because I want to be able to fold that up so we get a nice neat finish. So this is going to be quite a short hat, I think. And can you see that faint line that I've drawn with the needle? And then we're going to pull this in. We're going to pull that side in and lift that up. So what we've got is a nice rolled edge all the way around. This is actually, I'm going to put a trim on probably, but it's good to make sure that it's neat just in case you change your mind, and it's just good to have a neat finish anyway. And if you just flip those edges over, that's how it works. I've got quite a bit of wool, a lot of wool here, so I'm just going to bring that in, fold that under, a bit more of that, tuck that edge in. There we go. I may need to stretch out the base of this hat, but I can always adjust the body as well so that the head's narrower. So there's a workaround whichever way that you do it. And you see how that's flattening down nicely now. And you only need one needle to do this. You don't need any of the multi-tools. I may use one, but I'm trying to do this just in 20 minutes with a single needle. And then what you can do as well, if you've got a couple of needles, you can actually speed it up. Like so. I mean, that's not far off done, to be perfectly honest. And I've got a rice mat here and a topper. Always use a topper, especially when you're flat felting like this, because it stops it from sticking to the mat and your mats just last so much longer. So how are we doing with this? Okay, so I think I'm just going to stretch that out. That's the great thing with this wool, is you can just stretch it out a little bit. And then I'm going to flop it over, and I'm going to, where that join is, I'm just going to felt through along the edge. And then come to the other side. So if you're new here, then I hope you're enjoying the tutorial. If you're just sitting and watching, that's great. I hope that it's going to inspire you to start. It's such an easy project and absolutely brilliant for the season. Christmas isn't Christmas without a gnome or 20, and I absolutely love them. Make them every year, can't help it. And then once you've mastered the little ones, then you can start going on to the bigger ones. And these are, they're easier to work actually because they're bigger, but you can then start adding your details. But these are perfect as little Christmas gifts, as stocking fillers, for garlands. You could put them on Christmas tags, or even they'd look so good as place settings at the Christmas table. Or if you're doing a Christmas fair or an event and you want to make quick projects, that you can sell for quite a low price, that you're going to shift them. You're going to have your more expensive priced items, but it's good to have some more reasonably priced, sort of cheaper priced items. Don't underprice them, but all I'm saying is it's nice that you'll be able to get rid of them. And look at that, we have a hat, and that is ready to go onto the body. And I'm just going to pull that a little bit. So we pop it on there, and this wool, because it's so loosely felted, it's just going to, I'm going to use my finer needle here, just so that show less needle marks, but I'm going to go around the edge of the hat because this is the area that's going to be covered. So we're not going to see any needle marks or joins here. And then you can just go through diagonally. So yeah, I hope whatever craft you're doing, you know, you're really getting a lot out of it. And it's not about comparison. You know, don't go on Pinterest and look at people's projects where they've been needle felting for years. Remember, they all started doing this with the easy projects. Everyone does. So if you go, I mean, inspiration is one thing, but comparison will kill your creativity. So just don't do it. Start on your chapter 1 and work up from there. Be inspired. You know, look at things and think, oh, I'd love to be able to make that one day. And one day you will, but not to start with. And there's no point kidding yourself that you will. I would never tell anyone when they start needle felting or any craft, oh, you're going to be good at it straight away, because you're just not. It doesn't make any sense. How could you be? You have to practice. But these are perfect. Really nervous beginners can do these. Right, what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to make the nose and I'm going to pop it under there, and then I think I'll pop the band round. Or shall I do the band first? No, I'll do the band first. So I'm going to do a band here. I'm going to see how much I need. So I probably need about that much. I want some overlap as well. I'm just going to spread this out because what I want to do is I want to fold it over again so you've got a nice neat edge, and then just go along, and this is going to be very gently felted. It's just really to shape it, and we can also rub it between our hands. If you have dry hands, because we rub a lot with felting, needle felting, to shape things and make them nice and smooth and firm. So if you have really dry hands, it's quite handy just to have a damp sponge somewhere so you can, you know, you don't want to be spitting on your hands, especially if you're going to be taking them to craft fairs. Not nice. So just have a damp sponge or something sat in a dish, you know, like they would at the post office, and use that. And then and that heat and friction, you see how that mats it together really quickly and then gives us that nice long length. There we go. So I'm going to sit that just so it overlaps. So that's where my nose is going to be. I've got the seam at the back here. The nose is going to kind of push up here. So what I want to do is I just want to pop that on there. That's my coarser needle. Go to the finer one. Just so it holds. I've got quite a lot going on here actually. So round here, just follow it all the way around. Just gently tack it on till it holds. I've got too much going on here. That's what happens as well when you lengthen it. When you roll it in your hands, it actually lengthens it out as well. And then just overlap at the back here. And if you are a more confident needle felter, then obviously you can embellish the heck out of it and, you know, take the level up a notch. But if you're just starting and you were nervous about starting, feeling a little bit anxious, then this is the perfect seasonal project. And never worry about the end result. Remember, each one is a learning curve. And nobody who receives a handmade gift, regardless of the outcome, should ever be critical. If they are, then they don't deserve your gorgeous handmade little gift. It doesn't matter. If I was given a handmade gift, I wouldn't care what it looked like. I'd just be so thrilled that somebody had actually bothered to make me something handmade. There we go. So our little rim is on. So time for the nose. So what I've got here, I've got this light skin tone, but any contrast that you want, you can have. Don't need too much. Now you can tie it in a couple of knots and then just roll it into a ball and felt it that way. But really, if you can, get a barbecue skewer in your arsenal. You will not believe how much you will use this. It's crazy how useful a barbecue skewer is. Now just wrap that round, and we're going to leave those ends loose because we're going to felt those in. And then taking, not your fine needle because you will end up breaking it, your firm needle, just a few pokes just to settle that wool in, just so it sticks a little bit. You can put a little bit of poke at the ends, but still keeping it nice and loose. And this is a really neat way. You get a really, you know, smart finish. And then we can finish shaping that on the face. So just pull that off. Don't worry about the holes. Now, where were we? That's the back, that's the front. So I kind of like to lift the hat a little bit. So here we are. Now we can go to our fine needle, and those loose bits there, we just poke them in one side. You see how I'm doing that there? And do the same on the other side. Keep your fingers away. And see how already we've got that cute little nose. Not a lot really we need to do to that now. I'm just going to, a few more pokes and maybe a poke or two under there, but that's absolutely fine. That is our nose done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do something with this. I might twizzle that and give it more of a point. I might put a little pom-pom on, I'm not sure. But now to the beard. So with this one, I've used wool tops and added a few curls, which is gorgeous, and given it a full skirt. But then with these, I really like this as well, where it's a really specific design. It's tight, it's neat. So I'm going to do that, I believe. So take a little bit of wool, you do not need much, fold it over, and then just pull that under the nose like so. And again, I'm going in with the fine needle because I don't want to show any needle marks. I'm going to go under the nose. Again, push that needle under the nose. Try and go under things when you're felting, because then there's no visible marks. This is a nice coarse carded wool, and there's not a lot of wool marks anyway. And you could use wool tops. You could make exactly the same gnome with wool tops. Absolutely fine. Use whatever you've got. Don't go spending lots of money. A little bit of, you get bits of grass in sometimes. So I'm just going to take off. I'm going to hold that so it doesn't pull it away. And then what I want to do, kind of want to twizzle that. I'm going to puff that up, and then I'm going to bring that round here, because what I want is this neat little point. I maybe should have used a more contrasting colour for the base, and then that would have popped a bit more, but it doesn't matter. Or a different coloured beard, but can you see what I'm doing? I'm just moving that wool gently. Be careful with your fine needle not to break it by bending it, but you can just tease everything and then just flatten that down. And you see how that's, I'm just going to take those wisps in here. I'm going to flatten this down, and I think I might put a little bit more on, because I think we're quite good for time. And these little projects as well, what it does is it stops you from feeling overwhelmed. Because if you've got something in front of you and you're needle felting for the first time, you know, it can be, it is really daunting, and you can overwhelm yourself with doubts. Never doubt yourself. Just the best thing you can do, you're going to lose nothing by starting. You know, you've got everything to gain by giving it a go. And remember, every project is a learning curve. I don't believe that there are mistakes. I just believe that we learn. So, you know, next time I will maybe use a more contrasting colour base. But this looks, actually, I'm quite pleased with this. Just want to And you see how you can use your fingers to really create shapes. Our hands are the best tools we have. And crafts are in our DNA. I think we've just, you know, with technology and our phones and social media, we've just lost touch with it a little bit. And, you know, you spend half an hour crafting, whatever that craft may be. Doesn't even matter if it's a jigsaw, flower arranging, whatever it is, you will just get lost in that moment. And what you will do is you will forget, even if it's just for an hour, you'll forget about what is going on around you, whether that be the news, health issues, family, or just the general day-to-day stresses of life. And avoid the news so much. I used to have the news on all the time, and I stopped about 6 months ago, I think, and it's just been so much better. I go on every day and just maybe catch the headlines, and that's it. Okay, so look, that is done. I am going to need to flatten this base. I can tell straight away because it's not flat and even, so I'm just going to do that. And then what you can do as well is if you push with your thumb, you make a little indentation which allows that to stand up really easily. And then I want a little point on here, so I'm just going to, there, that's better. I'm just going to do that, I think. How are we doing? That's 20 minutes. And, or nearly 20 minutes. And there was talking at the beginning as well. So there you go. And if you're still working on it, carry on. Don't worry, just keep going. But these gorgeous, what I call pint-sized projects are just fantastic for this time of year. And you can have them as key rings, hang them on the tree, garlands, gifts, whatever you want to do with them, or just sit and look at them joyfully and say, look what I made. And I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You know, do you have a question? Ask me anything you want. And then if you really enjoyed the content, please, you know, give the channel a follow or a like. It really does help me reach out to more people, get more people involved, and create more content for you. So thanks for watching.